Excuse me, but we're going to go ahead and start this meeting.
Yes.
And I just want to let everyone know that there's not going to be any outbursts, and the way that the meeting was conducted last week will not be run the same way. This is an emergency meeting. We're only here to give you information and answer your questions in the best way that we can. Basically, a lot of you were concerned that we were getting, and I want to just, for the record, say this is March 15, 2012, and it's for the emergency meeting for 2 petitions that have been served to the SDBPOA and their homeowners. We were served, and Bernie's going to take over and explain that to you. Anybody that wants to see the actual exhibits, they will be able to see them. We will tell you the process of what's going to happen from this point. And because of the person that you'll know at the end of the night who brought on the petitions, you'll also know the legalities of all the police reports that are made and what investigations have been started from these reports. Okay? Go ahead, Bernie.
Police reports. Hello.
Oh, Bernie, you want to, for the record, for the tape, say our names, because we're missing 2 board directors.
Okay, then.
Just turn around and talk into the tape. Yeah.
Hi, Bernie Sotto, Vice President from Okay.
And Grace Violet for the SDBPOA.
Talk loud.
Please. I didn't say anything.
Wait.
Thanks. Keep waiting. The only reason for us to meet was to disclose what information came to us in the mail, so you can be fully informed of what's going on as we read in the mail. And 2 things came in the mail. There's a department in the state called Department of Fire, Building, and Life Safety, which regulates homeowners associations and POAs and other types of community organizations. And they have a department that takes complaints, asks for answers back, and decides whether, based on that information, an administrative law judge should go further and hear more evidence or dismiss it based on what they received in the mail back. So we received 2 of them. One is for, and let me preface by saying, if anybody wants to see the full packets, Grace has a notebook there, and you're welcome to look at everything. There's nothing hidden. If you want more time, just give me your address, and I will print one up and deliver it to you. Because I don't have enough paper to sit home and do all that today. The first one is rather simple. It's regarding loans that were made, or promissory notes that were made in 2007 and 2008 to the association by various members, and that's on the second sheet, and their names and how much they lent the organization is listed here. It's a request to pay back these amounts, which have been outstanding since '07 and probably pay and doable, I think, was 2 years from the date of issue, if I remember what it said on the document. So we're going to respond to this. There are some issues which are worth looking at from an administrative point of view. One is whether some of these follow the statutes that allow officers of a POA, HOA to lend money to its own organization and collect interest, or not collect interest, but even lend money. And so we're going to ask for that to be reviewed. The other thing we're going to do, which has to be done in conjunction, which we discussed in last week's meeting for those folks who were here, is one thing that has never been done, or maybe never done, I don't know if it's ever been done in this organization. The state also, for organizations like this, requires a financial audit on a periodic basis, and that's never been done. So what we want to do is, with the understanding that we want to get a financial audit done, and then whatever has to be done as far as these documents are concerned, we will take care of it. But until an audit is done and before a administrative hearing or these people review these documents to see the legitimacy of people loaning money to the organization that were already on a board, we will wait for their decision to do that. And then make every effort to comply with what they tell us to do. The other document is a separate pleading written, distributed by the same person, which has multiple facets to it, some of which have been already decided in court cases that we've had, and are asking for those court cases to be reviewed and avoided. And unfortunately, or fortunately, as I read the court cases that are cited, those court cases were dismissed with prejudice, which means don't come back here anymore. So we'll see what the judge says about that. There are other items in here which talk about homeowners having violations on their permits, or whatever you want to call it, and whether the house was ever correctly permitted, or I don't have the right terminology for it.
And the square footage.
No, you get a green card to say your house is whatever, or just like you put up a fence, and that document does exist for you to see if you wish. And that is a personal one-on-one, which according to the statutes that I read, this organization oversees complaints from a homeowners association to an individual person, but not from an individual to an individual, which clearly this is a complaint from individual to individual. So we'll find out. We already addressed the discussion of that, the $400 assessment that was built into the CC&Rs. Has always been a discrepancy whether it goes to every change of property, whether it's just the first deed time, and there is a judge citing for that says that he null and voided that, and that will be, we'll just give them the documents and let them decide if it stands. Because that's what needs to be done. What else did you put in here, Joe?
Oh, you want me to speak?
No, I just asked you a question.
I have an insurance thing that says that it wasn't court ordered. This is from State Farm that settled with both parties. That the $400, we don't have to go no further. I can even cancel that from the ALJ because.
I think he just asked you a question.
No, ma'am. I'm sorry. I am speaking here. Which will show that I can even drop that case. This is from Jennings Cunningham, is the attorney for State Farm on our settlement agreement, and pretty much says that the board, the Violet was not a board, it was not a judge decision. That the case was dismissed by both parties.
Are we going to let this organization, as long as we've gathered our papers and made the response, we'll let them decide.
So what you're doing then is you're letting the judge decide if the $400 is or isn't going to be allowed, because it was in the CC&R. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, according to the judge, that the papers that you and I might have seen as the court settlement, which says the $400 is not something you can do, and this settlement is, with prejudice, and don't come back here. We're going to give that document to this organization and let them decide if we, what their decision, if they want to get involved in it. Okay. So I mean, that's all one can do. Yes. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Just an update, when the CC&Rs were made, the $400 was acceptable as an initial assessment. The law has since changed under Title 33, and it clearly states that you cannot charge any fee whatsoever for transfer of property, none whatsoever. You can charge a fee to a new buyer if you provide them with there's like 7 or 8 things that you need to provide them with, and I can quote you the statute. But again, unless we have a signature from that new buyer stating that I have received the financial statements, the budget for the year, what the assessments are for the year. They need to know if there's any lawsuits that are pending, any lawsuits that are out there, any liability that they will have. All that needs to be disclosed. The new buyer then signs that, and for that you can charge up to $400. But otherwise, you cannot charge any fee for transfer of property. Now, I believe our CC&Rs were written prior to that,
Yes.
if I looked right. However, the law still trumps that. So in that case, we're going to have to rewrite our CC&Rs to accommodate Title 33. But in any event, Title 33 still trumps our CC&Rs always.
Can I just say something real quick? This is not a lawsuit against any homeowner. This is not a lawsuit against anybody. All of this is doing is getting clarification from the judge what a board can do in the future, so we steer away
That was incorrect
from, no, it's
information.
not. So we steer away
I will stop you
from,
right now.
we steer
because
away
this is my
from
board
lawsuits in the future.
meeting.
I'm the guy who filed it. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm the guy
Okay,
who filed it.
you should file
And there's
it
20
if
other,
it is a suit.
there is 20
It is a
people
petition
that are
to
behind this
file
also.
into a suit,
And all it needs is
okay?
one signature. What all this does is clarify, if the judge tells everybody what we can do per the CC&R. So this way, there's no future legal actions. Nobody's paid for this. It will cost nobody no money.
That is incorrect also.
It is so correct. You can answer, this is very simple. The board can answer the question. It's so simple.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. There was another issue around Joyce and the ability to run for the board that was filed. And that issue, actually, Joe, was, if you remember, part of Lisa Borowski's search and destroy $15,000 bill was vetting each candidate, because I got a phone call to interview whether I was qualified based on prior history with boards here to run for the board, and so did they. And the lawyer that you folks hired said that she could. Okay?
We hired her?
Not me.
I didn't either.
Me neither. No board did.
Which board, Joe?
For Lisa Borowski,
Yeah.
Joyce and Jim.
Joyce and Jim.
Yes.
Stroh.
Not us. We had nothing to do with it.
And Suzanne.
No, who was the people that signed the contract? It was Jim Stroh and Joyce. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Well, let's back up a
Jim
minute.
Stroh,
It doesn't,
Hold on,
the lawyer that was hired by this organization to run the election said, based on their interviews with her that, and investigations, that she could run. So,
She was told by, in future, all past boards to not be on the board.
that's true.
She was told.
I understand that.
She was, and she decided not to. She said, I'm going to stay on. She said, for the betterment of the community, why don't you get off so we don't have issues in the future?
I understand that.
She didn't want to.
Okay,
That was
good.
it.
She decided to run. A lawyer was hired by the organization who interviewed all of us and reviewed our whatever, and said that she was allowed to run. And that's
So
the
she
answer.
vetted Suzanne, she vetted Becky, she vetted you, she vetted Violet,
Yeah.
and them, and she said that you were all capable of running.
Correct.
And we all, as a
And the other
community,
gentleman.
voted you all
And
in.
the gentleman, I don't remember his name, Bob?
Bob, yeah, I don't
And that's
remember his
Bob Hall,
last name.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what, that's what happened. So there she is, and that's all I can say.
Right.
Okay?
But the problem here we have, Bertie,
That's
is
not I'm just giving you the issues and the answers, Joe, okay? I'm not here to debate, I don't want to debate with you,
Okay.
okay? I really don't. And thanks for calling, by the way.
Suzanne Lloyd. The letters that Suzanne's written, that's the next thing.
That's just documentation.
Well, it sounds important though, what is it?
Well, okay, I don't know how to explain it well, but some of the documentation that was presented in the packet that you can see was given to the filing by Suzanne. Some of those documents, however, were from executive board meetings, which are closed, and those minutes are not published. But they were presented as evidence
So
here.
Suzanne gave them to Joe?
Correct.
To file a complaint
Not at
against
all.
our homeowners
It
association?
was,
A
no,
board member did?
the attorneys gave it to me. The attorney. See, it was all open to everybody. We had it.
What attorney was that?
You weren't.
What attorney was that to you?
Look, you weren't.
What
at the meeting.
board member gave you information?
No board member gave it to me. It was on the table at a meeting with Lisa Borowski there, and she opened the meeting and told the whole board that this is open to everybody
I'm thinking
because
you
I
think there's a little
discussed.
bit of a conflict of
I
interest.
just, no, it's not. I discussed.
Absolutely, because you filed a complaint against all of us.
I did not. It's not true. You're not even on the board.
Yeah, actually, it's not.
It's about the homeowners.
It says it's against the homeowners.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's not what it says. It says it's against the homeowners.
I'm sorry,
You
I'm-
filed a complaint against the rest of the homeowners.
The board.
It doesn't say board.
It's the board. Trust me, I'm the
I think you
guy.
need to step away as
And
No, I'm not stepping away. I'm a member here. I own a home here. The
You sued
conflict,
yourself?
the
You're filing a
conflict of
complaint against
interest
yourself?
here
Exactly.
is doing,
We have proof right here in his own documentation.
I think we need to see
that
all of
he-
the stuff you submitted.
well, they have it there.
Right, it says to Lisa from board, and it's on her station.
And it's on her stationery.
It doesn't, but that was given at a board meeting.
No, it wasn't.
Because the board, the Jim Stroll
What date
board,
was the
can you
board
please
meeting?
speak a second? The Jim Stroll board waived. They waived it. They waived the rights. They waived
What
everything.
date was the board meeting?
I don't remember, it was at the church.
Was it before Christmas, after Christmas?
I don't remember, it was at the church. But Lisa Borowski, you can call her, she was there and spoke about
Okay,
this
we're gonna
openly
move
to
on, we're gonna move
everybody.
on. Okay,
I didn't
we
know
have
it
the
wasn't there.
documentation. We'll find out sooner or
That's
later.
fine.
There's, I think, one more.
There's
really-
one more issue that's very serious, that
Okay,
is a
I'll
crime.
get- I'll get-
Go ahead.
A crime.
There are two issues around one issue, and that is of a company, or we'll call it the company credit card, for the lack of a better term, the POA credit card, which was in Ron Stroll's or Joyce Stroll's name with the POA's name on it. And I do have a document here from the bank that says they will only issue credit to these kinds of organizations with basically a cosigner, somebody that has $1 in the bank. You know, excuse me?
A guarantor.
A
In
guarantor.
other words, they pull our personal credit report.
Okay.
It becomes our personal card, but it's used only for Sunrise Desert Investors, and it has Sunrise Desert Investors' name on it.
Okay.
But
Was it linked to the
lost
checking account?
the,
Was the credit card linked to the checking
I'm
account?
going to go someplace else, Phil, okay? The issue is that a document was presented in the packet of evidence, or whatever you want to call it. What is it?
That's the letter from the bank on the credit card.
Yeah, no, give me that.
That's exhibit, the last exhibit for the chief. He's got it,
You
right?
can look at it for the rest of it. Give me the one from the bank. that I felt-
This looks like a mailing you get from the bank.
the Chase Bank.
So how did you get hold of a copy of the mailing that you made? How did you, hey Joe, how did you get a hold of a copy of a mailing?
Came in my mailbox.
This
Your
came in.
personal mailbox?
My
This is,
personal
no,
mailbox.
this is, This is addressed to 8711 East Pinnacle Peak.
You really think?
This is addressed to the, Joe, this is addressed to the association in Ron Stroll's name. This came to your box, you're telling us all this?
I have 50.
You're
anonymous-
recording?
I have 50 anonymous letters that came to me.
Okay, and you opened this? So you
I
opened
didn't
it?
open it. It came like that.
It came open? Okay, can we take, you're videotaping this? Let's take a video of this. You opened this? This is,
I never opened it.
you said
You
it
keep
came
saying that. I never opened
So the
it.
credit-
I never opened it. I'm not going to tell you again. I never opened
You
it.
told her again.
So the credit card came.
I never opened it. I told you what happened.
Said you weren't gonna say that again.
Chris, please.
The credit card came on the outside, the envelope, right? All of ours do.
I don't understand. Did you have any board minutes, Joyce, to show your husband being on this credit card? A, do you have any proof, you need to show the association if any credit card comes in your name.
Joyce, when it was issued, was he on the board?
Absolutely.
Okay,
he
I'm
was the
sorry.
treasurer.
There you
Who
go.
was on?
Ronnie was the treasurer of the.
Hold on.
When the
Ronnie
card was
was?
issued.
Yes.
Hold on.
Ronnie was the treasurer.
Basically, the
He was never treasurer.
Where is the
He was the vice president.
Can we stick with the facts?
He was the vice president, I'm sorry. He was never
Anyways, the judge will
treasurer.
look at that and find out where you got the information. Does anyone want to see the exhibit?
And I have it too. I will email it to everybody in their mailbox. Thank you.
And you'll notice that there's a lot of things on the notes with the dates and the board members, okay, that they were voting themselves money, not paying their dues, taking people that were paying their dues, okay, and writing back IOUs.
That's illegal.
I mean, it's all in black and white from their own information that they submitted.
One homeowner can bring up suit against the
We
association.
are trying our best not to get right. The only thing that we can do at this point is there's been so many things. Now the law is involved and the federal, I know there's been a federal investigation now. Now we have the DA's office involved, and that's all we can do in this point. I mean, they're gonna take and get to the bottom of it. Not us. You know, why spend another 40 grand when they're gonna take our neighbors? We have enough problems paying for their damages.
No, with a credit card, with a debit card. No, it's not.
You didn't want to see, this is the credit card that they're talking
Why
about.
was Ron with the two?
You know, we've all had credit cards coming now. I see a physical credit card on here, and it amazingly gets into his hands anonymously, wraps back up in an envelope and in our mailbox. Back in our mailbox. Does anybody want to see the notes? Or need any explanation on the notes?
Sir, did you need to see, sir?
The checking account association checking. Ron Stoll, now he's on the board. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Chase Brown said that the credit cards that you
Thank you. We're really trying to get the board involved and all these new investigations going on, you know. We have two board members, our next meeting is and so I hope we'll see you there. And you guys should get information in the mail on that or on the website. And the only thing I can explain here is that it's so fraudulent, it's just unbelievable that they actually gave us this because they have signed, one treasurer signed for another treasurer, okay, and a totally different year that they weren't even serving on the board. And this Joe guy over there has basically invested money. And what we can't understand is why did he do that? But I guess it's the same way he anonymously got the mail in his mailbox. I mean, I don't know how many miles away that is, but that's pretty funny. And as far as the petition goes, we don't know why Suzanne has this information, how it got into Joe's hands from our board meeting when it's set in our secretary's hands. In fact, we never even authorized her to write the articles. So there's another investigation on that. We had no idea the letters were even written, no one gave her authorization, and then the letters are over there, and now they're in our.
This is the one that he says that.
We can't really comment on something we don't really know. It's just
If
not
you want to appeal
here.
the ruling, you have to go to the next higher court. You can't appeal the report.
So we just have to wait and see, you know, how the investigations play out. And, you know, if we have to hire an attorney, we have to hire an attorney. You know, it's not like we're personally being charged, you know, it's every home. And they're charging you saying, pay back this money that we can't even prove that we paid. Would you? And plus they went as far as to bring on some claims on some people where they lost their home.
It's the same guy on the same board with all this money. But they have letters turning in his own attorneys dropped him because he was doing illegal things. It was a legal process. He's like, I don't want to be involved. He does. I would be totally humiliated. But, you know, I got my neighbors next door going downtown to a meeting, like an open meeting on getting permits for my house. It's completely embarrassing. And they walk around like it's nothing.
Wasn't it my right, Gracie, wasn't it my right to go to that meeting?
You can go to any meeting.
Okay? You know, really, Grace, you know,
If it was me, I'd be embarrassed, but it was you.
Heck, I'm not embarrassed at all, especially when you got Ron telling my wife that dogs disappear and horses get sick in the middle of the night. I had to call a police report because you know what? Because I'm protecting my property. I want to see what's going on.
Hey, you guys are real good at protecting things.
Yeah, I am good at protecting things, Ron.
Yeah, you're great. You need to do it.
Really? Well, then why don't you call the police and have me arrested? Oh, bring it on. Bring it on, Ron. Okay? When you can prove that I've done something, then you can have me arrested. Really? Well, can you prove it?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there video proof or audio proof or? Really? Okay. Okay. Well, then go for it. Okay, Ron? Go. You've got the right.
Three stooges, and Sweeney, and Dickus, and her wife,
Well, okay. And you should be in jail for assault. And I should have called the police when you went and assaulted Joe's wife at that meeting. Oh, really? Okay. Okay, Ron. Really, Ron? Pardon me? Oh, believe me, it's taping. Go for it, do it. I don't care. Go for it. Throw them off.
None of this is notarized, and they're all signed by his treasurer, not me. What's it do with that?
Gracie's not real.
What have I done to Gracie?
I guess you went down to that meeting.
Did I say anything?
You don't have to say anything.
Well, so
Did you support her?
I didn't say a word. I sat there. I wanted to see what was going on.
Yeah, sure.
Did I? Hey, it's all been recorded. They recorded it down there. I sat in the back and observed. Okay, is there another rumor you're going to spread about it?
It's already been spread.
Pardon me? Oh, that's okay. I don't care. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed whatsoever. Oh, really wrong.
Everybody knows that.
Okay.
Because he brought the complaint on us, but we get because now we have to know where did you get these properties. We got all these documents anonymously landed in the lab. So the only other person who had it here is one of them did it. So we have a trial on that. It's just sad that they want to keep, and then these are the same people that showed up at the last board meeting going, how are you going to keep the attorney fees down? How are you going to keep the attorney fees down? How do you feel about that? And then they come to the end of it. And then they don't want anyone to know about them. The homeowners, they're going to know it. Because when they did things, it was behind the scenes. They didn't let it I think a lot more people want to step in instead of waiting for something. But now everybody's So if there's any participation that you would like to take in this process, feel free to call. This week, use the help.
I was near the very first meeting that you and your husband were at. And we all stood up and looked around the corner because we couldn't believe the opposition and the craziness from everything that started from the very day. And Gabe Galmore was the very first president.
I know.
I know that, I was secretary. I know. But again, this was the meeting of May 18th, where we actually, not we, I didn't vote. Board voted.
No.
Three.
You weren't there.
Three, one against. Three, one against. And three, do not.
I'm not suing nobody. I just want clarification. That's all I want. Clarify that our house will be safe. That's all I want. I keep telling you guys that. This is not a lawsuit. This is not a lawsuit. This is just
It came by a 0 degree, but it came.
They couldn't even do it. They couldn't do it. It was against the law. Against the statutes.
Joe, the houses remain.
It doesn't.
The houses remain. You lost the lawsuit, and we're in debt.
I know. I didn't use it. Dave Galloway, Bernie, they all did. You ever seen email?
We were not done.
He's Dave Galloway. Read this email.
Did you really?
I was. With Bernie.
We were at that meeting. We voted.
But I abstained from votes. But look at this email. Would you look at this email and read it? Read this right here.
He is secretary, appointed himself president, appointed jury member to the board. Within 10 days, 11 days, May 29th. I'll show you the minutes of the meeting.
And you never showed up with any of the back minutes.
I did, I sent them.
Who was the president?
He told me to mail them, I mailed them out.
And no, they never showed.
They all had them anyway. They should have had them. I mailed them. I said,
We didn't have no minutes to do
They
it.
were standing at the land place and everything else.
Just like it doesn't matter who the mayor.
There's no minutes.
That's not offensive to the mayor.
I didn't open it.
That's Stan getting.
I never.
What time?
You can say whatever you want, but not. You know, we don't even know.
I never met Sandy at the title company. I swear, I didn't even know what you was talking about.
I have a emails.
What am I supposed to say?
Letters I got in email.
What am I supposed to say?
Yeah, did you just go and fling all the...
I didn't say. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is just going to a judge and say, clarify this.
I did not post you said that. I don't even know what I was saying.
No. This is what they told me what to do. This is what they told me what to do.
This is an investment. This is
This is what I'm doing.
This has been since us, and nobody is moving.
I'm not suing nobody. I'm telling you right now. There's not going to be no.
What did I say at the last meeting? Can we not bring this association together?
Never.
Why not?
You're a liar.
Why can't we get together?
Show it.
2 days later.
Oh, swear to God, show it. I'll give you $1 million right now.
You because Ron stepped on his property.
Yeah, you can't right. No.
3 days later. Because all sorts of violations.
There's a lot of this going on, sweetheart. A lot of that. Oh,
Please, I don't want to speak to you. We're done. We are so done. Please. I don't want to speak to you. I don't want to. Don't even go there. On peace.
And there's another gentleman that is in violation.
How many violation notices did you send out in 3 years ago?
How many violation notices? I don't know. You tell me.
We don't have any minutes.
How many? You tell me.
We have no letters.
Every minutes and everything went to the attorney. Look, if these guys want to not give you stuff, or you guys want to hide, that's fine. Chad Caffer got everything. Frank Benham is the guy.
0 letters in there to any violation.
There's a lot of letters there. You got the Carl Stone. You have the guy that down the street for the garbage in his wash. You got the 40-acre lots. You got renters. Yes. You got the renters. You know the renters? Do you know who the renters are?
You have
I don't see it, so you know. So Ranch Road and 137th Street did the same thing that Knelson did, and we went and got and stopped them. But we couldn't go no more because we got sued 4 times from the same attorney and the same people. And look, you know what the amazing part is? What will happen? This is a letter from State Farm. This is a letter from State Farm. No, I won't. Have a nice day. I don't want to talk to you. Have a nice day.
See, it's this constant line of us and them, and I'm tired of that.
I am. They're liars.
you wonder how many lawsuits are like this.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many police reports.
Yeah. You know what? That's not worth talking to them. The reason why they do that is to show how it's looking bad.
So, Bernie, what have we accomplished here tonight? That's what I want to know.
It depends on who you are.
I want to know what's been accomplished here.
It's my obligation to show you what's happening, and that's all. What the discussions are, that's fine.
So Bernie, I just want to let you know, I just want to know, I'm hearing all this accusations of Suzanne's doing this and doing this, and that I was at a public meeting at the overheard violations on her property because I heard there was some violations. I wanted to find out because I'm doing construction on my property, and I have a right to understand what's going on. And
I have nothing to do with
no, wait a minute. And I'm being defamed that I shouldn't be embarrassed to go down and find out what's going on. Bernie, I'm telling you, in the last 2 weeks, I've had the police out twice. I've had my wife and son were threatened by Ron, and I quote, and I got the police report, and I quote, excuse me, I quote, that dogs disappear in the night and horses get sick. And I've got it in a police report and date. Then Ron came on my property. I told him to get the heck off my property, and he wouldn't. And I called the police and filed another police report for trespassing.
Nothing to do with me or this thing.
All of then I have my neighbor Sharon come to my house yesterday and tell me that somebody is using my name and calling complaints on her dog and noise at her house at the wedding they had this weekend. You know what? It's ridiculous, Bernie. And I thought you were above this. It is very ridiculous. No, I'm not. I'm not. Listen, Bernie, I'm not accusing you. But no, I'm saying this is a farce. This whole thing is a total farce and witch hunt, and you know it.
Let me tell you something. And I
I'm not involved in this.
It's my job to show you.
I understand.
What you decide to do or think about
I understand.
It's your business. It's totally your business.
We've been here 10 months. 10 months. I wasn't involved in any of these lawsuits. 10 months. And all the rumors about my family, I am disgusted.
Sir, I have no control over what people do.
For you.
I understand. You know what? It's the people you choose to be aligned with.
I'm going to say this.
I agree with you there.
Don't rub me off on other people, okay?
So those two.
And unfortunately, they're your name. And
Let me
I'm
tell
sorry.
you, I don't think only my neighbors are crazy.
Oh, no.
I think there's more.
There's a lot.
Of course, it's except you and I.
Of course.
Maybe him too. The school's out. Oh, then he
We're
counts.
not gonna have, half
Can we
acre
get
lots
talk
of
sometime?
unless they
We used to talk. Please, let's talk. I did not, Roxanne asked me in December, sitting right here in this room, can I trust you to stay on the board and not leave this? And I said, well, somebody's got to put this thing back on the track. And I won't put rid of this. From the first day, this has been I will make it through. I'm getting a little told for this.
And right now, even with money in the
Don't meet me in any alleys. That's all I can
it's not
tell
gonna
you.
happen. Someone
I'm losing my patience with
I don't like the this and the us and the this and that. I don't like that.
and that's fair. The issue is, I would like you to approach what I say to you in an open way. So we can do that with agreement.
Yeah.
I really do.
And you can buy dinner because you want it there.
Property Owners Association.
Oh, God. And my wife's got a gun permit, so there. Good. And I didn't, when she got a permit, I said, I'm buying you a gun.
I just invest in it.
All women should carry
Just
a gun.
use the ruler in the drawer if you have to, for you know where it is.
All women should carry guns. And know how to use them well.
I seriously, when she was still riding in the desert, I said, I don't want you, let's learn how to do this, you know? This is no joke where we live.
Here's what I like.
You know, it's not where we live, it's what's out there. And you know better than me.
And, you know, keep it.
It's not safe. Nothing is safe.
So can we make a motion that
It's okay.
So I told her no.
Let him talk.
And really, I mean, and that was my whole thing with Patrick and I. And we did it from $100,000.
And here's the easy to say, all right, they're asking us to be on the same.
I admire anybody who's involved in these homeowners associations, but especially this one, because this is so
I came here because of only two things. I don't care about trailers.
I think you gotta accept the fact that there's a certain board that's been elected, and I think you just have to sit back and let the board function as best let the board function as well as possible until the next board of directors meeting. And then at that time, you have a chance to go in and make some changes. And that's really the way, the next election.
Pretty easy to do board member.
Then meanwhile, you continue to accrue additional liabilities until the next board. That's the way it has to work.
Because whatever.
Well, because they're not functioning. Who's right or who's wrong.
I gotta tell you, I don't know any of the details, but if you've got a board member who's not operating, you know, she's not meeting their fiduciary responsibilities, operating in the best interest of the association, and they should be.
Are you here?
I don't know all the details, but I'm not interested.
Where is?
And I don't think
We're still here talking to you. Come in. It's calm down. Just everybody's talking about just there's not many people here. We're all individually talking.
Well, you know, so
All right,
there's these meetings coming up.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. And I'll talk to you later.
You know what, I'm so sorry to use this, but I do have some questions about the website. And maybe I can call you sometime. Welcome to our
Budget's $195.
Yesterday and today, I took some pictures. You know, I felt I had to discuss what's going on with this they got problems. So, look somewhere else.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. Unless we start moving forward, despite all the neighborhoods, you gotta just move forward, and if you can't make a neighborhood and I think that's a lot of the neighborhood association, it's not a fair burden for an association to carry neighborhood. So we need, I just say
I'm letting you know, I will do that. We understand that. Hopefully, it's not going to have some in there. If anybody has trailers, I understand it's just a lot size.
and what about the lots that are undersized?
I'm good with that, because they're already done. Here's what, I'm the outside bicycle. Here's what's ridiculous. You want what everybody else wants. So it's always cut off the crap. You know, it's always let's get down to the basics. We all can agree on this. And so let's all get along.
They're all doing stuff that make us go forward. And it's in the interest of our values
Well, certainly I understand.
We're not there
We were
yet.
here at the meeting last night, and I stood up and said, you know, what about your budget? What about the budget? And, you know, where is the budget? And I don't think they've gotten
Thank you for
So we got funds on that, where we plan on never house on 2.5 acres. Like this one?
Yeah.
And on every house.
I'm telling you, and if we don't
Because you don't want to leave on your property.
No, it's not even a house owner association. It's the whole, everybody's.
Well, but eventually it will be in turn a lien
It all
on the
comes down to
property.
the property.
Yeah.
Yes. See, that's something that really has to be.
Yeah, and it's when they're, yeah. But I'm curious, I mean, like,
They hire people.
I know some people are more invested in and ultimately they're gonna get paid. I mean, if the attorney holds them there,
Like this out of conscience. It's like nobody's notifying me that I have these issues. Tracy,
oh, I'm not the only one. The title company did end up doing the research and paying for it, but it wasn't like transparent. I'm thinking I think it was 2009 or no, 2008. 2008. And the people that the people before me did not pay the people before that person did not pay. So the title company could have paid.
I know how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had no issue. I had no issue paying it. Yeah, absolutely.
To be tried.
Although if there is, I understand Rose's point, if there is a state law, we can't pay for it.
Well, it's down there. As I say, it's the Wild West.
Yes.
You know, let's build something first, and then we'll get permits
I
later.
remember seeing that.
It's called the University of pretty much.
And I do agree that it's the only thing that this association does not even have benefits of well, I'm definitely going to try to get my neighbors together and try to fight it. I'm not willing to pay $100,000 to stop it. And that's why this stuff and all these little details need to stop and we need to start just pay the bills and all this nickel stuff. Because money is to get
If this association gets to the point where they can simply keep the bills paid, that would be for the next year, that would be just a wonderful. I'm good with that. And the next year then, maybe they can get to the point where they can start, meeting the state regulations and getting the reserve accounts. Was your wife sitting on the right, far right? Right.
The problem is that that people are 40% more paid and this happens to me. I paid $400, I paid this and that, and the next thing I roll to
We don't care about that. We want to talk about it. I think we do. And we did.
my contention with paying this penny is that it hasn't gotten me that it's a dysfunctional
We're willing to pay the $400. Let me tell you, everybody is going to pay eventually. The board has an obligation. It's their And once they're we got to see
But the reason you guys were so shocked is because the claims wasn't the $400 minimum rate. People were, but it was because that amount people were saying was not legitimate.
I used to be president of like 1,200 homes. We filed those at least. I don't know who you had doing it.
It's because of the liens that were filed and
Look, we don't know that. We went from the attorney I said, look, these are what we have. What do we do? Okay, they took it on and we went from there. Well, anyways, and then they decided to back out. We got sued from the That's one of the reasons why everybody starts think about what's best for the EOA and start working together rather than all of us.
yes.
I have a document here that is from the judge.
It doesn't matter.
The other problem is CCMs, they do need to be well, Rich, you're going to have an attorney that review it. Probably.
A management company attorney.
Just let us work it.
We all agree on a management company that's mature enough to deal with all of this. There's so much passion.
Do you agree?
Can you give
I want to be educated and but I want to
comments that have to stop. Because you're not going to move forward when everybody's pointing fingers at everybody else. I'm sorry. You've got to forget the past.
have dealt with each other and have
But here's the thing.
You got to forget the past.
That's what I'm trying to ask. How can we, here, let me just ask one, wait, you guys speak for 1 minute. Just a quick question. What would your ideal scenario from this day forward? You're a deal, and then you're no, without name calling. I know.
The guys,
But we can't move, we're not going to be able to move
he
forward.
sued and has sued other people many times. He had a bankruptcy.
But we're talking about personal issues. We're talking about an association as a group, so we're leaving all the name calling out. We gotta talk about our association.
Why don't we go on property tax? If you go on property tax, you're going to lose garbage can, have majority press, and have to lose trailers. Everybody has a horse carrier.
You do realize it's in the
That's something.
CCNR, Joe, you know.
They come in and manage it that tightly?
No, they don't. The management company basically manages how the board function, how the board wants them to do.
They don't follow CCNRs.
The board is the one that makes the rules.
They're not enforcing the CCNRs.
Okay.
They're not enforcing.
Okay, Ron, sorry.
Just listen to Jim for a minute, because he's had a lot of.
those organizations. The board is going to hire them. They're going to authorize them to do whatever they authorize them to do. What this association needs is to be able to run a meeting in accordance with the Robert's Rules of Orders, where I've been at 3 of these meetings, and there's nobody here that I've seen yet that knows how to run a meeting.
I agree.
And so you need to have somebody in that teaches this association, number one, how to run a meeting, and all of this, all this finger pointing and name calling has to come to a complete halt, and everybody starts moving toward the two simple goals at the direction of the board. And one is to grade the roads. You're going to be required by the state to build a reserve, and then you're also going to have to enforce the, what is it, 1.7 or 6, whatever acre minimum.
The best way, in my opinion.
Do we all agree on that? At least say we agree on that.
We agree on that, right? I forget your
All right, but this guy never got.
I don't want to hear about the
You have to hear because it's
I'm not going to hear about the past.
the past is the future with this guy.
No,
He's had many lawsuits before.
I've looked this guy up. I know what he's got.
You want to see what?
But he owns property
But he's
in
a
this
member,
association.
so we have to.
He is a member.
Yeah.
He ran the board for 3 years.
So what?
He cost the community $650,000.
It doesn't matter. He has as much of a right as any rest of us. That's the reality. When you have an association, you have a member. You have to give everybody their representation.
Is that the 8th? April 8th? Is that the
April
next meeting?
5th.
April 5th?
5th.
April 5th.
Okay, guys, ready to go?
Okay.
I got it.
Don't learn about the past. $650,000. He screwed several people. He started several lawsuits.
But we can't live in the past. We have to move to the
If you don't live in the past, if you don't learn about the past, you'll get killed again.
We've learned by
We've learned by it, and now we have to move forward.
There's only half a dozen people that agree with this guy in the whole area.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's not what we're not talking about, Joe. We're talking about our
Well,
association.
he's the one creating all the problems. Nobody else, you don't see anybody else out here creating the problems. These two morons here are creating all the problems. And I do mean morons.
Anyway, that's what I had to deal with.
I tried.
You could never get anything done here. And it's nice meeting you, by the way. You know, can I tell you something?
I'm trying. I seriously am trying to make it a win-win for everybody.
I'm sorry, but I've been out here 11 years. I know what this guy's done.
Ron, give it up, okay? We've heard enough. Enough. Oh, really? Okay, Ron. You're gonna go after my throat like you did, Ron?
This is not a personal issue. We're trying to stick to the association. You guys are getting personal.
People know this guy.
2 Sundays.
Nobody's getting traced to the guy here.
2 Sundays from now, we're trying to do a walk in the neighborhood. Everybody meet. And then we get everybody together and say, look, let's end this. Let's move forward. We want to move forward to it. And we'll get there. Now, this Rossborough land wants to do a meeting
It's a management company. And
Oh, that's the name of the management
and you can check out
In-
one of the leading
in the-
management companies in the state.
How do you think of it? I don't want to do anything. I don't ever used them. They want to come just a membership, not to a board thing. They want just free of charge.
And Joe, just because I know is there any link to you where people are going to say, oh, Joe's buddy runs this thing or something?
I just heard from it from the last meeting we were at.
Okay, because you know people are going to want to go there.
When she started investigating.
I'm Italian. I'm not
Well, I know, but people are going
People think I'm so
to.
connected. It's like, if I was connected, we'd be
Get some research.
There'd be a lot of holes in the desert.
That's the direction, that's where people are at right now, so, okay.
No, I'm not going. Listen, I moved down here. My wife's Italian. What the heck?
I mean, but this is just the
And is there anybody else involved with that management company? It was their idea, that would be perfect then, yeah.
Their idea. I mean, I wasn't involved. They came out. We got to get above this. It's, not about me.
But the interesting thing is that, since I know you, I even said 5 words to this man. I think if they can do that, maybe like a Q&A
Yeah.
for the whole membership.
Yes.
Say, this is what we do.
And not a board meeting, as a neighborhood,
Yeah,
yes.
they want to do.
This is what my wife was going to set up, and she had it all set for next Thursday, and she decided, there's the meeting after meeting after meeting after, you know what?
Can you get the word around? Get all of your neighbors.
if everybody can get, I don't know if everybody can like this, you know.
2 Sundays from now?
It's April 22nd, but 2 Sundays from now is the walk.
Oh, okay.
April 22nd, they're available to see the membership.
I mean, if people want to, I mean, it's not going to be
I wouldn't have to be
a pass. It's not going to be a bitch session about the pass. And that's the issue is nobody wants to move forward. Everybody wants to get the pass.
It's like just like I'm sorry, what you mean, Jeff. When I was on the board, there was a 40-acre piece of property that closed to 8 guys. They were sold, and they split them down to 1 acre piece.
Well, that's not good. You know, they're gonna have to go through the minor subdivision.
No, I understand.
In Arizona, and, you know, yes, you know, technically, they can try to do that.
They said, but see, when they went to court, the judge says, well, what are you gonna do? It's zoned at one point, but it's 1 acre. What are you gonna do? And who's gonna do? So we did at the time, said, look, you guys can't, and actually the title companies came back, we worked to close them. Those 48 units, and those guys, we met, the 8 guys, and those guys, this is what I was told. We could still have 1 acre. And they were actually nice with us. We worked with them, we went back to the title company, and they were actually the first to close them.
Well, the title company has some problems too. When they title a property,
Well, because we're not recognized.
that's another reason why there's two signs around it. It says, this is
Sunrise Desert Vistas, I agree. Well, nice. By the way, Jim, nice to meet you, Joe.
Nice meeting you.
Tracy, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, I know. I'm a joy.
Well, I'll tell you, my wife, we're going to have the horses on property relatively soon.
Good.
So-
Your barn looks nice.
Thank you.
I hope we weren't
No,
in trouble. We came through that easement from the bus stop. Is that okay? And I know I'm making your dog's upset.
No, it's not. It's an easement. It's not my property. I don't care.
We don't normally do that. We just did.
But
Come on, you handle it.
if you want to, I'm thinking like if you all want to get together, maybe talk.
It would be nice if there were some people that maybe in the past maybe were butting heads that have come together. Really, and Bernie's very level-headed. I know you guys have discussions, but if there's somebody else that you could mix and
I understand that. I love Bernie.
Yeah.
But Bernie's pleased down.
I know.
Then he's got pleased there. And he can't.
Well, there's got to be somebody on the board. There's got to be, you've got to pick somebody that's in a position of leadership currently.
I know, but a lot of times he said to people, we're going to do this, and you get to me, and it never happens. I mean, he'll say, yeah, he's a very nice man. I'm not saying nothing bad about him. I love him. But he'll tell you one thing, and please you, and please you, but we never get there. That's the problem.
Until they forget about it, it's never going to be. That's really the bottom line.
Yeah, and that's the best thing.
Oh, I forget it. I'm good.
And that's
This is just to clarify. I'm not suing no members. This is just a
I know, but the
board
problem is the members of the board that we have can't read the stuff and take it for what's written on the paper. They're going to hire somebody.
Then I'll drop it. I'll go to the ALJ and drop this week, and let's see what happens. But if it doesn't stop, I will bring it back later.
Well, if what doesn't stop?
There's all this bickering. I mean, if I go to
Bickering.
I think you got to go forward until the bickering stops.
you know, actually, I don't want to do this no more. I want to enjoy my family, my kids. I don't want to do this no more. I really don't. This was run on by almost 20 years people.
Go tell them. I think that's a nice thing to offer, to put on the table anyways.